So I'm going to attempt to tell you how to convert a metal shed into a chicken coop. When I looked online, I found a couple of pictures, but I didn't find any videos on how to, so I kind of just started ripping it apart and figuring it out myself. So, not sure how necessary all the steps that I take are going to be, but this is how I did it. So I first took off 2 panels of the metal siding off of this side here and framed this side here so that I'd still have support in the corner before I took off the front side. I was a little bit nervous about, because I was pulling off this whole side, that it was going to, fall over or start to bend, and I didn't have any issues with it. It didn't seem like it was going to do it because it still had all the other corners in place, but I was nervous about it, so that's how I did it. I did this first side first, framed it out, then I took off the front portion and framed that out, and then I put on, and I painted all of the 2x3s before I put them up there, just so that they were, weatherproofed before, because I didn't buy, I don't buy treated wood. I only paint it afterwards, and I usually go to Lowe's and buy, they have some really cheap fence paint or barn paint. I don't even know which it is, but it's like $9 for a gallon, and that is much, much cheaper than what I usually buy when I'm actually trying to paint something nice. So anyhow, so I bought about, I'm going to say about 22 2x3s, and you'll see why, because on the outside portion here, you wouldn't need to do what I did. But I'm going to show you what I did inside here. I actually have it in 2 sections. So you could actually use this, if you didn't have too many chickens, you could actually just use this as their entire coop if you didn't have a run. And you could use this little area for them. If you just had a couple of chickens, I guess it'd be okay. I like to have a lot of space for my chickens, and I'm not quite done with their run yet, because this is not their run. Their run actually goes out to where that center post is, right in the middle of the frame there, and I'm still putting bird netting up over the top because I do have hawks in the area. So inside here I have it sectioned off, and there's a door inside here as well that I can actually close off and contain them if I need to. I actually took off the door that I did have there because I was keeping them back there and only letting them in the front portion parts of the day when they were really tiny. And now, they're getting their feathers in. They're much better off now. Back here is where I'm going to build nesting boxes along this wall. They're way too small to even worry about that for probably about 5.5 months. Over here I built a chicken roost, and I just screwed it straight into the metal because it's nice and sturdy too. I can kick this thing and it ain't going nowhere. And so what I did when I took off the side, I realized they have this metal bar that it's like tin, it's sheet metal. It's a thick sheet metal. So I didn't really have the right tools to cut it. I managed to cut it off where I needed it and to place the 2x4 in there, and then it's done on the corner over here, and then along the side here I actually have it screwed to that 2x3. And let's see, on the other side, because I didn't take off any of the siding there, it does go out and it does screw into the front metal panel, so I just bent it back some, cut it a little bit, and then I screwed it right into the 2x3s. I buy 2x3s because they're cheaper than 2x4s, and it's chickens. I'm not trying to build a house here. I'm just trying to build a shelter for them. I wouldn't want to just build a chicken shed from scratch, or a chicken coop from scratch, just because I have a nice roof here that does not leak. And it's like, I don't want to have to try and build a roof and everything else. Although I have to say I'm a little concerned about the heat in here in the summertime, because the sun does hit here on that back portion there, and I'm a little worried it's going to get too hot inside here, but they're not going to be contained in here. They'll be able to go out. As long as they're not cooking while they're laying eggs, or my eggs aren't cooking, I guess I'll be okay. So, the total cost of this, I don't know, I had about 22 2x3s, and like I said, you don't need to have that many because you can just do the outside portion if you'd like and just have the whole thing open. And then I bought the fence boards and screws, and the hardware cloth was fairly expensive, but it wasn't that bad because I got it on Amazon, and I got a 50-foot roll. I think it was like $67. And when I went to Home Depot, it's much more expensive, so I was real happy to order it on Amazon instead. I use fence boards and 2x3s quite a bit just because it is cheaper when I'm looking at building for the chickens, because it doesn't have to be, like I said, I'm not building a house, so I don't have to worry about the structure being, you know, so sound that it'll be okay to live in. And I guess that's about it. If you have questions, let me know, because I'm sure I missed talking about something. And good luck if you're building it from a metal shed. Have a good day.